So, growing on YouTube is hard, and it's easy to become a little obsessive over your numbers. I was in this exact situation when I started about a year ago, and sometimes I can still fall into these old patterns. A successful video can actually create some less than optimal habits, so I wanted to talk about how I'm still getting past obsessing over these numbers in this video. Now, when I first started this channel, I was admittedly a little too obsessed with the YouTube Studio app. I'm someone that likes numbers and statistics and when data backs things up. If you learn what works, you can replicate that and keep getting those results that you're looking for. One thing YouTube is very good at is giving you these statistics about your channel, and it does it through the YouTube Studio. I think being able to see, how many people saw and clicked on your thumbnail and how long people actually watched your video before dipping off before leaving is very cool and extremely helpful. These are numbers that you're really going to need to see so that you know how to get better at creating content over time. And knowing that someone with a smaller audience like me can get this really good, really helpful feedback from day one about their videos, it was pretty cool to me. But here's the thing. Somewhere along the way in those first 6 months of my channel, I lost the plot. The studio and the app are there to guide you along your journey, to give you important stats about viewer and subscriber habits so that you can find out where your weak points are so you can improve incrementally. And over time, checking the app became less of an occasional thing and more of a regular, low-key, compulsive habit. I was checking the studio way too much for where I was in my YouTube journey and for the number of views I was actually getting at the time. I mean, I'd literally post a video, then an hour later, I'd be checking the numbers thinking that something big would happen so soon, when in reality, the number would just stay at zero. I found myself spending just way too much time on the studio app looking at my 17, 29, 6 view videos, hoping that I'd see the occasional, one subscriber jump count. And I was getting upset that no one was finding my videos and that the algorithm just seemed to hate me, instead of using that energy to create and make videos and getting my repetitions in to get better. Obsessively refreshing that app every 30 seconds and hoping for a change is not productive or conducive to actually growing a channel. The studio is not a tool for small and newer creators to lose their minds over and to base their ideas of success on. When your success is tied to numbers and comparing yourself to other, probably bigger, more established creators, you're really just setting yourself up to want to quit. Because when you don't get those results as quickly as you want, you feel terrible. And when it comes to YouTube, where it can most likely take a pretty long time to actually find real success, you really are just setting yourself up to fail. And that's what happened to me. Now, in all actuality, my first videos just weren't that good. And I was still learning as I went, but my excessive checking on my numbers, it really just clouded that. And it kept me from being consistent because I tied whether I should even keep going and keep creating on these numbers. So I decided to make a change, and that led to me deleting the app off of my phone. I was letting it take up way too much of my time and brain power and attention in places when it really didn't need to. Getting better on YouTube and growing is still very important to me and something I want to achieve. But keeping my nose down in my phone is not the way to do that. And making that choice, it felt good. It allowed me to take the pressure off of myself because checking the app wasn't a part of my daily routine anymore, or my hourly routine anymore. I allowed myself to create for the sake of creating and for the sake of continuing to learn YouTube. Now, I like to say that I kept this up the whole time up until this point and that I never let myself fall back into that trap, but that wouldn't be true. Now, I'm going to admit that I recently broke my own rule. About a month ago, I released a video that turned out to be the most successful video on my channel to this date. Feel free to go watch it if you haven't already after finishing this video. The video didn't seem to take off after the first 3 days or so, so I just accepted that this was another average performer and moved on to the next idea. But about a few days later, maybe a week after initially posting, I remember waking up, opening YouTube, and seeing the notifications bell in the corner showing that I had a lot of interactions on that video. It turns out that it just took a bit longer to get picked up by the algorithm, and now a lot more people were finding it and watching and leaving comments. And I have to admit, seeing the feedback and the growth that I got from this one video in such a short time was great. And I wanted to keep up with it in real time because it was the first time that I had experienced real success on my channel. So I re-downloaded the app. Yes, I re-downloaded the app and I found myself falling back into these old habits. Granted, I actually had comments to respond to and a subscriber count that was increasing with every refresh, and that dopamine hit of knowing that people actually related and enjoy what I was talking about, it just felt great. And it felt really good to know that I finally resonated with an audience, but those old habits can really creep back up very quickly. And I told myself that it'd be different this time and that I'd only check, once or twice a day and that I was much stronger than I was 6 months earlier. And that was a lie. Whenever I had a break or a quick second to myself, I used it to, once again, look at my phone and see if someone else had enjoyed my video. I'd check before walking into the clinic for work for the day. I'd check between sets of exercises when I was working out. If I woke up in the middle of the night, I'd do a little just in case check. After a few days and recognizing that I was becoming a little too obsessive again, I deleted the app. Again. The success was nice, but I didn't want to start putting pressure on myself to replicate or surpass that video with every new upload. And after just a few seconds, I knew that I made the right choice again. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't check the YouTube Studio at all, because again, that'd be a lie, because it really does provide a lot of really good, really useful information that's helpful and insightful for your channel. But now I've relegated myself to only looking at the studio on my laptop and checking just a few times a week, instead of a few times every hour. And now I can still check my progress and learn without all of that stress. Because I feel like that app is designed to be addictive, because as soon as you tap it, you see your subscriber count and the numbers on your last video, and you can get a quick snap judgment on whether or not it's a hit or not. On the desktop, it feels like an actual workspace that allows for deeper insights for times that I'm actually interested in studying my channel. So when I check the studio, it's not for a quick ego boost, it's to actually learn and to actually get things done. I still look forward to checking to see if I'm reaching new viewers or if someone decided to subscribe and join me on this growth journey. But this feels like actual intentional time spent and not just a compulsive habit. Like I keep saying, I'm in this YouTube thing for the long haul. If I burn out in year 2 because I was too obsessed with the metrics of year 1, then what was really the point? When you're small and you're still growing, it's easy to obsess over numbers because that's what we naturally tie value to as viewers. Views, subscribes, comments, and likes are what we want because that means we're successful and that our videos are good. But those things aren't the only markers of success. Are you getting better with each video? Are you trying new editing tricks and switching things up? Are you figuring out what specific topics you actually enjoy talking about and the ones that you really don't enjoy making content for? I'm working hard to create a functional life for myself, and looking at my phone every 30 minutes checking my channel is not conducive to that at all. Obsessing over naturally fluctuating stats and numbers is not healthy, and I had to learn this lesson. Again, once I stopped being so numbers focused and started thinking in terms of just being a better creator, that took off so much pressure that I put on myself. And it gave me the space to just continue creating and learning along the way. The studio is a great tool, but don't let it make or break your desire to make content on YouTube. But now, let me know about your relationship with the YouTube studio. Was there a time when you were very obsessed with your stats like me and a little obsessed? No judgment here. And is there a specific stat that you're working on right now, like your CTR, your AVD? I'd really like to know where you are in your journey, personally. Like always, thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, I'll see you in the next one.